I'm back about 35 minutes later than the last part. It took me that time to give my root ball a haircut, which I gave it a fairly thorough haircut. Removed the bed, but we still have plenty of soil and roots left. About 1.5 inches, 2 inches of a root ball. And I probably removed about 6 inches of root ball, and we now have what I would say a perfect fit as far as going into the new pot. I want to have about 1 inch to 1.5 inches around. I don't want the root ball to be any higher than, well, not much higher than the top of the pot itself. A little higher, 1/2 inch or so is fine. But I want to have enough to put new soil around the edges of the root ball to give the new roots coming out something to get into. What I need to do right now is cut some screen up. I need to fill these holes in the bottom of the pot to put the soil in the pot. I got some copper wire here that bonsai growers use for wiring their limbs on their plants, or in this case we use it for wiring the screen to the bottom of the pot. Put the dirt in. It's fairly soft wire, so it can be cut with a decent size of pair of scissors. These are the greatest things for using for giving your roots haircuts, because virtually that's all this is. You're giving your root ball a haircut. It should be done on a yearly basis. I want to get these screens secured to the bottom of the pot. Loop your wire through the screen, into the hole, to the bottom of your pot. Make little tabs and keep them in place. And that's what you got. And I'm going to do that 2 more times. And this particular pot has 3 holes in it, which that's fine. Better for drainage. I use a coarse soil for the plants. Makes for good drainage. If you don't want your plants to retain moisture, especially in this area here. If you overwater them or your soil retains moisture, and you end up getting root rot. And I've lost a number of plants over the years due to not having that knowledge. And we get the root rot, and you lose a 10-plus-year-old tree. It's not happy times. Second screen. One more. And I'm going to place my plant, my forest I should say, in the pot, and then I'm going to start filling it with soil. I've been needing to do this. I keep putting it off, and this is something that you want to do in the nice weather months, early enough in the summer or spring. I should have done this maybe a few weeks ago. I don't want to wait too late in the year, because then it's going to really want to take off, and then you're talking getting close to the fall and winter months, and these don't do so well. Although I like the plants that I do have tolerate freeze conditions fairly well. They go into dormancy, and you don't want a freshly planted plant going into dormancy. So won't fare well. I'll start putting my soil in my pot. Try not to get it everywhere. But this is the coarse soil. It's a mixture of two different coarse soils. I don't exactly know the name of it. I buy it from my local bonsai nursery. He does a mixture for me, half and half mixture, and it seems to my plants seem to do very well in it. It provides good drainage. You got to make sure that you get that soil tucked down in there really well. You don't want to line the bottom of your pot with soil. Again, that'll promote holding moisture in the bottom of the plant, and again you can end up with a case of root rot. And these trees won't stand for root rot. You'll lose them very quickly, and this is almost like these trees get so old, and you can have them for so long. You don't want to lose it to something an error that you could have prevented from doing that. This was a tight fit, but you kind of want that. You want to keep the soil level just below the edge of the pot. You don't want your soil running out. You want to pack it down fairly good, but not too much, because then the water won't go down. It'll just run straight off the outside edge, and you won't see any water in the bottom of the pot. The soil wasn't that old. I normally don't reuse my soil, but the soil is it's only been in this pot for about 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, and the soil's in really great shape. There's no need for me to get out new soil. I think I've got enough soil now. I'm just going to make sure that it's packed down into all the way down the sides to the bottom of the pot. Take off some excess. This pot is perfect for this forest. I've had forests in the past. I haven't had one in the past 10 years. This is actually my first forest I've had in the past 10 years. I've had cypress forest. I've had maple forest before. Like I said, I got this forest at a really good price. I just needed to give it a little TLC. But I think for what I got, if it was up to me, well, it is up to me. It is my tree. There may be 1 or 2 trees I may remove out of this at some point, but maybe next year. I've devastated this root ball enough for the time being. I've got a few hair roots that are exposed, but that's fine. You just don't want to really mess with the top roots down in the center of the root ball. Got a few exposed roots. It's not a big deal. They'll dry up and die off. About done here. I got more soil outside the pot than I got inside the pot. The only thing I hate about this is the aftermath. Anyway, at this point, all I need to do, make sure it's all smoothed out, everything's packed down in the edges. The soil's fairly moist still. I watered this tree yesterday. I didn't want to overwater it this week because I knew I was going to devastate it. It's pretty much, this is pretty much what we were looking for. A few weeds. Now I'll just water it. Keep an eye on it. There's a little excess soil up here. Well, I like this. It's not what my 28-year-old Japanese Trident pine is. But that's a different story. That's a different story for another video. I think we got it. We're just going to give a little tip pruning. This thing's growing like mad since I got it. Little haircut here. Haircut there. Get a little defined shape to it. Some of these tops just explode with growth. You really got to do this about every couple weeks because they really get out of control. But it's just something that I enjoy. I've been playing with bonsai since the early 90s. There was a time where I got out of it. I lost a few plants to a fungus. I got a hold of a number of plants that I had. I didn't identify the fungus soon enough. But and then the other ones went away in a marriage split. And I probably lost about 12 plants there. I haven't put a lot of time and effort into the plants. Well, the plants that I got, I put some time, but I only have 4 plants right now. I may be in the market soon for a 5th. I don't know what I want to do, but I think we're for the time being, I think we're good to go right now. And on that, I'm going to kill this video. I had fun doing it. Just my little bit of knowledge of what I like to hobby with. I have a couple more trees up here on the top. I've got a juniper, got an azalea over there that blooms in pink. Funny, it bloomed twice in a 6-month period of time. I had blooms back in October, and then I had it rebloom again March to April. And that little plant up there, as small as it is, will get over 100 blooms on it per blooming season. So, on that note, I'm going to cut this off, and I appreciate y'all watching. Thanks.